like it! They like it! Go, 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 go.
Okay, they like it.
Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, it's Jesse with the Common Nerd, bringing you pop culture and all things ready through a common sense lens. And one of the things that we like to talk about on this channel all the time is box office numbers, right? Despite how people's opinions work out, no matter what people say about things and stuff like that, at the end of the day, 2 + 2 still equals 4. And box offices really are the only true, beyond a shadow of a doubt, determining factor of whether or not something succeeds or whether or not something fails. If it's a television show, it's the same thing with Nielsen ratings and stuff like that. And honestly, boys and girls, we've seen a major drought in the Hollywood box office over the last few years. Even the major studio releases out there have drastically underperformed, and we've seen a lot of theaters have a lot of issues actually being able to go out there and make a profit and continue to open up their doors. Obviously, a lot of the government lockdowns and stuff like that had a major issue on a lot of that stuff and put a lot of people out there. Shout out to all the meme stalkers out there, myself included, who help support AMC and help keep a lot of Regal theaters and a lot of the rest of the theaters alive and kind of keep them going through all of the hard times out there. But one thing that a lot of fans have been asking for, a lot of fans have been begging for, especially in the drought that we've been getting at the theaters over the last couple of years, is why not release a lot of the favorites out there, a lot of the classics that you know you're going to end up making a profit on. We saw a lot of the great success that Disney had releasing the prequel trilogy out there in theaters. I mean, literally they had that per theater end up doing better than like what Captain America, Brave New World, I think, what was it, Revenge of the Sith, or whichever one that they recently released out there, per theater did better than a current brand new release that Marvel is currently putting money behind. So it's one of them situations where, and from a theater perspective, this is just simple, easy math. This is something that is basically nothing more than 100% profit to re-release those old movies out there and make sure that they get proper promotion. And a lot of fans, especially those of us that were too young to see these things in the big screen at the time, now get to go re-experience with us, and those of us that have children get to re-experience that, or maybe just experience it for the first time with them. And one of the places that has been doing a very good job of that and keeping a lot of those kind of classics alive and back in the big screen is none other than Fathom Events. And boys and girls, the 35th anniversary re-release of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles absolutely crushed it at the box office, even with its very limited release. And boys and girls, that is a beautiful thing to see. And it is done so well, it is getting an extension. And now we have confirmation that The Secret of the Ooze, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, is also going to be getting another re-release in theaters next year. And as a fan of all things TMNT, when they do it properly, boys and girls, this is a very exciting thing to hear. Because as you can see over here from the headline at Deadline.com, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Fathom 35th Anniversary re-release extends run and sets date for Secret of the Ooze. Yes, boys and girls, this did so well for the theaters that it showed in that they desperately asked for an extension. And I don't know how many times this has happened in the history of Fathom Events, but it is definitely something we have not seen happen in a very long time. So shout out to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, because you are getting success all over again, and the fans are very happy. So we're going to check out this article from Deadline.com, getting all of the juicy details as far as exactly how well this thing is done at the box office, when we will see Secrets of the Ooze next weekend or next year, and how long this thing is going to get extended, and who knows, maybe it'll get extended again. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing. We just crossed 2,100. We're staying on our way towards 22. I think we're sitting at like 2,164 over there on the YouTube side, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, leave us a comment in the section down below. Let me know what you think about all this. Does it surprise you at all that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is doing so well at the box office that they're actually extending it another week? What do you think this actually means? Do you think this is the fandom for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is still so alive and successful that they can make something like this happen? Or do you think it's because the Hollywood drought is just so absolutely abysmal right now that the theater is just producing such crap stuff that, of course, something like this was going to absolutely succeed? Or is it a little bit of both? Let us know what you think about that in the comment section down below. And if you support the channel, please check out the links in the description as well. All right, from Anthony D'Alessandro, one of our favorites over there at Deadline.com. Exclusive. Fathom Events' 35th anniversary release of New Line Cinema's 1990 movie, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, cleared a good first week of $3.3 million. And that is glorious, boys and girls. Is there anybody else who can hear the sound of the New Line Cinema logo and see it in your head coming at your face right now, remembering watching this movie? I know I certainly can, boys and girls. And exhibitors have asked and will now receive a second week of play of the costumed character pick. That shows you that they clearly know this is something that sells. This brings fans in, this brings families in, this sells popcorn, this sells drinks. I mean, if you did a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cup with the 35th anniversary release, this thing would be absolutely wild. You would see Turtle Mania all over the place, all over again. This is just a glorious thing to see. And like I said, this is a Fathom Events release. I don't know exactly how many theaters this thing has been in, but it's certainly nowhere near the numbers of like the 4,000 theaters that things like Weapons, Freakier Friday, No Nobody 2, or Fantastic Four First Steps got. Not even close. This is probably in a few hundred, maybe 1,000 theaters in the entire country, boys and girls. You have to go out of your way to find these Fathom events. So it's wild to see, and that is absolutely glorious. But there's more. Given the excitement over the first movie based on Eastman and Lard 1980s comic, Fathom, Saga Arts, and Warner Brothers are now planning to release the 1991 sequel, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze, in March of 2026. And I mean, come on. This is a no-duh for Warner Brothers, right? We've talked about it a million times on this channel. Warner Brothers is broke. We know this. This is an easy win for them. This is nothing but profit. They could do a national, domestic, 4,000 theater run on this thing. They'd probably never get that release because of other new things that are coming out. But even if you got a 2,000 screen nationwide release on this movie, it would be more profitable than anything Warner Brothers has produced in the last 10 years. And yes, that includes Barbie, and yes, that includes Minecraft. Why? Because it's 100% profit. This movie has been paid for over 30 years. This is nothing more than a money printing machine for Warner Brothers, Fathom Events, as well as the rest of all of the people involved with this. Yes, we do record these videos live at 11 a.m. weekdays, boys and girls, on the Morning Prep. The original Steve Barron director film were released, screened to the world that, by God, there's a mega franchise in these Turtles. Paramount has since absorbed the franchise and has been behind the two Michael Bay directed live-action reboots, as well as the 2023 animated movie Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem, which pushed $1 billion in global retail merchandise sales for that calendar year. Well, they claim those movies had something to do with it, but what, of course, Deadline drastically decides to leave out of the whole picture here is those movies were giant, massive commercials, failures at the box office, because they did not represent the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that we all knew and loved in any way, shape, or form. And unlike, the 35th anniversary recently played in around 1,300 theaters this past week, and will continue on with more of those theaters. And despite they're talking about the billion-dollar sales success, let's talk about the actual sales of the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, because JRR24, one of our very loyal subscribers over there and followers that comes and hangs out on our live streams all of the time, requested this video be made, and he's been around forever, and he's always here, and I certainly appreciate him. So we made this video, and honestly, it wasn't very hard to twist my arm to get me to talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But in the process of kind of researching this video briefly and kind of looking into things, one of the things that I found out that absolutely boggled my mind was how much of a profit this movie made, right? Worldwide box office. Obviously, this is in 1990s money. $202 million globally. Doesn't sound like a lot compared to what we end up making. But boys and girls, this is where this movie really shines. and why the Deadline article talked about how this movie proved that there is absolutely a major market and a major fan base for these Ninja Turtles. Because look at this. Production budget. Worldwide box office. Production budget. $13.5 million. Worldwide box office is 15 times production budget, boys and girls. When was the last time you can remember any movie coming out of Hollywood that made 15 times its production budget? Outside of Godzilla Minus One, I can't think of a single movie that you could find that is an example of that in the past 20 to 30 years. 15 times its production budget. Fantastic Four won't get beyond 2 times its production budget. And let's just, for argument's sake, that Hollywood lied just about as much about its production budgets back then as it does now. Let's just, for argument's sake, say this movie cost them $50 million, tripling, quadrupling their actual production budget. That thing still made 8 times its production budget with a $200 million global budget. 8 times. When was the last time you saw a single Marvel product, a single Marvel movie, a single Star Wars movie, a single any movie, DC movie, Hollywood movie, make 15 times its production budget? You don't. It doesn't. They can't do it anymore, which is why, despite after 35 years, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from New Line Cinema made over $3 million in a little over 1,000 theaters domestically. In an event that wasn't advertised far and wide. There weren't trailers all over YouTube for this or all over social media or all over your favorite streaming service, or if you're still watching broadcast television. And it still made over $3 million and did so well for these theaters that they demanded a second week. Now they're getting it. Not only are they getting that, but we're getting Secrets of the Ooze come next March. Boys and girls, does this not only show that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles brand is still very relevant, that there is still a very live and very living, absolutely rabid fan base for this franchise, I don't know what is. I'd be really curious to see what the uptick in the sales for Paramount and Hasbro's toys are for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles numbers after this movie does so well at the box office over the apparently 2-week run it is now going to get as a Fathom event. Boys and girls, a Fathom event. This is mind-boggling. This is impressive. And honestly, this is an embarrassment for the rest of Hollywood. This is an embarrassment for Disney, for Marvel, for Star Wars. And yes, I'll say it, for DC as well. Because a 35-year-old movie back then made more profit than you guys will ever be able to dream of ever again. And now is crushing it at the box office once again. And that is a beautiful thing to see. And you will see more of this going forward, because the drought coming from Hollywood in the theaters over the next few years is not changing anytime soon. It's why you see horror movies getting banged out left and right, because they're cheap to produce and quick turnarounds. Disney, Marvel, DC, those are not quick turnarounds, boys and girls. And so for all of the fans, rejoice, because you are going to see a lot more of this over the next few years. And this, not Marvel, not Disney, not Warner Brothers, not DC, will keep the theaters afloat. Why? Because at the end of the day, what these big Hollywood studio heads decide and create does not make the box office successful, does not keep the theaters afloat. Fans do that. And fans have proven that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles can still be a massive financial success if at the end of the day, you do one thing and one thing only. You make the fans happy. And the 1990s movie did that in spades. I can't wait to see how well the second weekend does. Spread the word, boys and girls, because Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is back in theaters, and it is a smashing success. A big shout out to all of our subscribers and members out there. Thanks for watching, and make sure you guys like and subscribe if you have not already.